We are back with continuing coverage of the inauguration of President Trump, and we have been watching Trump signing documents. One of them in regard to James Mattis, his pick for Defense Secretary. This is a waiver bill. You're required to be out of the military for 7 years in order to serve. Mattis has only been out for 3 years. This will allow James Mattis to become Defense Secretary.
And you can see the family surrounding President Trump there. Of course, his vice president on screen to his left. Of course, the vice president's wife, Karen. And then right behind the president, you see Ivanka Trump holding her newborn son, Jared Kushner, her husband, who will have a significant role in the Trump administration, standing right behind as well. And directly behind President Trump, Barron, who's giving a high five right there.
In fact, I was just watching him do peekaboo with the baby just for a moment. It has been a long ceremony, I would imagine, for the child, so Barron was trying to keep him busy for a little bit. We have a number of other documents as well that President Trump has signed, and we have been watching him gather with a number of elected officials throughout. Mike Pence has been at his side, and just earlier we were listening to former President Obama as he departed, and he gave one last farewell address to the staff at Joint Base Andrews, saying this is not a period but a comma in our future. So we continue to follow the inauguration of President Trump, Queens native and a New Yorker, as he has become President of the United States.
A busy day for the president, too, on this inauguration day. After these signings, they'll go straight to a lunch where steak, lobster, and ice cream will be served. That is on the menu so far for the luncheon today. Also, you see the speaker to the right of President Trump as well, along with Mitch McConnell, who's in the room. You see a number of, obviously, a number of the political luminaries that they'll be dining with in just a few minutes there to watch these signings. Of course, most of them done in triplicate, even more copies, so it's not as though these are each different items that are being signed. These are multiple copies. But as you see, everyone gathered, a number of pictures, of course, being taken on this historic day. As we just saw President Obama leave in Executive One a few moments ago, as Mary just mentioned, of course, stopping to thank his staff and the people that have worked with him so closely over the last 8 years before heading off to Palm Springs on a vacation with the former First Lady and family. Let's listen and see if we can hear what's going on real quick.
Wind and corn.
So here's one that's not at all controversial. David Friedman from New York, who you must know, right?
I never met him. Never did.
You sort of said that about me.
I didn't say that. I said never cooked me a dinner.
David's going to do a great job. Back there. Good. Somebody. Okay? Thank you. Here.
One more. Who's left?
Here, check. Proclamation. Okay? Dave National.
What is it?
And you've noticed he uses a different pen each time he signs. Of course, all of those kept very closely and protected, those pens that are being used to sign the first official documents as President Trump. His signature's now on those papers, and we are hearing the applause. And we have so much more to come this afternoon with a motorcade and an escort as the president and his family moves from Capitol Hill. They will attend a luncheon as well. And, of course, we're talking about a parade as well. So many people turning out and expected to turn out. The barricades have been set up since early this morning for that.
You saw some of the handshakes there. We'll go right down the line. Pelosi, McCarthy, and the speaker there, of course, Ryan, as they now get up and make their way to this luncheon. And, of course, after the luncheon, then, of course, the parades of the day, the inaugural parade through the streets of Washington. Hopefully the weather will continue to hold up. As you saw during the inauguration, just a little bit of rain fell during one period. But for the most part, what was forecasted was a heck of a lot worse than what they actually received in the area. So not too bad, and we just hope for the people that are lining the streets of Washington that made that trip to our nation's capital that the weather does hold up. As you look inside Sanctuary Hall here where the luncheon will be held in a matter of moments, everybody kind of starting to take their seats and enjoy what plans to be a nice 4-course meal.
And it was nice to hear from Christine Johnson, who said, yes, they had some drizzle, but not the heavy rain that was expected. We did see some umbrellas up, and there we see Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and, of course, a number of other luminaries who are in the room as we continue to bring you live pictures of the inauguration of President Trump with our continuing live team coverage throughout the day and our live pictures of inside that luncheon that you were talking about.
beautifully adorned tables. They obviously have not begun to serve, although they are starting to pass along a little champagne, a little of the bubbly, as you're looking at Senator John McCain on your screen right now. Table 2 in the distance. This is the beginning of what plans to be a very busy, active day in Washington. Not as many inaugural balls this time around. You see Rudy Giuliani and wife Judith there, center of your screen. 3 inaugural balls that the President and the First Lady will attend tonight. If you remember, last time around, the Obamas had 10 scheduled back in 2009. So a much busier dance card at that point. But the President looking to get right to work in Washington, and will, again, like I said, have 3 inaugural balls tonight after the parade and after dinner tonight. So it's going to be a very busy night for the Trumps. Rick Perry, well, we'll see if he is cleared as the Energy Secretary, part of
we
President.
are still awaiting word as to how many of the nominees will actually be confirmed, and we are moving along those lines when it comes to the Defense Secretary. So we wait in the next couple of hours to see if that will happen on day 1, but so much more in regard to that, a number of other people who need to be confirmed. And now some are staying on in order to assist in this in a transitional role before the official announcements are made.
Speaking of some of the cabinet members waiting for approval from the Senate committee, of course, that was Rex Tillerson right there of ExxonMobil, waiting to be the Secretary of State, who's already been on Capitol Hill all last week. Now looking at Dan Quayle, center of your screen there. And Rex Tillerson was speaking with Chief Justice John Roberts at the table but before we took this shot here. So again, as we just continue to kind of pan the room here for this luncheon, as we wait for President Donald Trump to enter the room with First Lady Melania. That should happen any moment after they've, of course, been doing some of those signings that we just saw of a few quick bills that they wanted to put pen to paper with very quickly. But again, this luncheon will begin as soon as the President makes his way into the room, as we just, again, kind of eavesdrop in on what's happening here today. Thousands and thousands of people descended upon Washington, D.C., as you saw from some of the shots, the wide shots on the outside. Of course, these are for the folks on the inside, so to speak, in Washington, the Washington insiders that have a chance to enjoy this lunch here. And then the parade, which is for the people once again. And that's something that so many people have been looking forward to here. And now you can see Ivanka Trump along with her husband, Jared Kushner, Barron Trump there, as they make their way into the Sanctuary Hall for this lunch here today. So as we watch,
a day of tradition, and this is one of those moments. This has been set up for decades, and this luncheon is something that's been happening for over a century, we understand, where all of the dignitaries can come together and begin day 1 in the same room, eating together. And so as we watch his daughter move in, we will soon see the President walk into that luncheon as well with the First Lady as they sit down and dine with so many others in Washington, D.C. Rudy Giuliani there, a number of others who have been considered for cabinet posts as well, who are in that gathering. And we can't quite hear what everyone is saying, but we've been trying to eavesdrop and listen in. A few moments ago we did, and we're going to just listen in for another moment. Hard to hear since our microphones are kept at a distance, and but again, as you had mentioned, beautifully adorned and ready to eat. Yeah,
I can't tell. Well, if he turns around, I'll be able to. I think that may be Jeff Sessions that Jared Kushner and Ivanka are talking with right now, but I can't be positive. Again, waiting for the President to make his way into the room. Reince Priebus, as you can see, making his way into the Statuary Hall lunchroom. I wonder
taking on a significant role in the White House as we look at his daughter walk in, as well as his son, a number of them taking significant roles in the White House. 2 of his sons, though, will remain in New York City, while his daughter will be moving to D.C. and already has found a home, and the moving company has been in place as well, bringing her furnishings.
Yeah, you saw Eric go through the door along with Tiffany, Don Jr. and his wife and family right now making their way. And then the President will be coming in shortly. And we're going to have, of course, live coverage all day long right here on CBS 2.